Good evening. This is Coach Thomas with the Fort Worth Young Warriors. I wanted to go over our winter information. Hopefully I can be as thorough as I possibly can. But for more additional information, you can always visit our website as well as our Facebook page, which contain a lot of information. Winter registration ended this past Sunday, November the 12th. We will have Winter League play this winter for boys and girls between the first and seventh grade. I will go over a list of teams momentarily. We'll also have a seventh grade competitive team. These boys are currently in middle school. They've been playing together for the past year and a half. They may be playing in some tournaments during the winter. We will also hosting an open gym on Saturdays as well. Those dates will be announced. These open gym sessions will be for competitive middle school boys only. Again, dates and times will be announced at a later date, so always stay tuned. So a little bit about our organization for those who are new. This is about our sixth winter season. Our fall and winter seasons are pretty much scaled back versions of our spring and summer season. Spring and summer is very extensive and intensive. Our fall and winter season is very purposeful and meaningful as we pride ourselves in the development of our young athletes. Spring and summer, we're pretty more selective on who we have on our teams. But fall and winter, we try to get kids who are pretty much brand new to basketball and teach them the game of basketball. I liken this to a tree. A tree doesn't just bloom. A tree has to be planted. It starts with a seed, and once the seed is watered, as our coaches are invested in these kids, then the tree can grow. Without it being watered, without the investment for both the kid having an investment, the parent having an investment, coaches having an investment, the tree can't grow. So I'm really just trying to look at it that way. That's our philosophy about our organization. That's the root of our organization. That's why our organization was started. That's why our organization still exists. The development of kids, both as players, but also as basketball players. This winter, not basketball players, as players and as people. I had the slogan, winning matters, but character counts more. So it's not about the wins and the losses. It's all about who you are as a person, because eventually there will be no basketball. Eventually, at some point in your life, there will be no athletics. So what matters most is who you are as an individual. And that's what our coaches try to impart. Trying to fast forward to what we're doing this winter. We will have practices throughout the week. Our practice schedule will be posted online. Our coaches will be sharing with this practice schedule with you. Practice will start after Thanksgiving break, so the week of November 27th. We have a couple of gym conflicts that week that we have to, which will cause us to amend the schedule, but our coaches will communicate any kind of changes, any kind of amendments for a couple of days that week. Again, you will be notified of what team you're on. You will be notified of when practices are, and then you'll be able to locate all of that on our website, on our links tab. You can be able to view our practice schedule. In terms of where the teams are playing, we will have 5 teams playing at Game On Sports Complex. Those teams have already been registered by our organization. You will have a invite to join the roster through the Game On platform. That invite will come to your email address. It should come early next week. After that invite is sent, you just simply create an account, join the roster, and you are good to go. Game On is very good with their winter basketball season. They have a lot of teams, and all their scheduling and all the times will be viewable online whenever their schedule is completed. We will also have an additional team playing at Sailor, but they will also be playing in tournaments throughout the Metroplex and a couple of tournaments outside of the Metroplex. They've been together for about a year. They're a little bit more competitive. We also want to give them a little bit more experience competing outside their normal comfort zone during the winter, just to see how they do, to prepare them for the spring and summer. If you are a part of that team, if you are a part of that roster, you will be notified of that as well. A lot of those kids, again, have already been together, so only a couple of kids have been added to fill out that roster. We will also have another team comprised of a group of kids who go to the same school. They've been with our program for the past couple of winters. That team is already pre-existing, has already been formed. Those spots have been filled, and they are also playing at Game On, and you'll be able to see their practice schedule online as well on our website. All the information about how to register or find your team at Game On is on our website. I have a how-to document, and you can see the step-by-step instructions if there's ever any confusion on how that works. It's a pretty easy process for you to join the roster, but again, I make it easier by having a step-by-step instructions for you. Costs. I know everybody is wondering about costs. So the cost to participate at Game On is divided by each of your team members equally. And our organization has already paid the deposit, and so that nothing is due on that front right away. And once you join the roster, once everyone has joined the roster, everything will be divided by how many players are on that roster for the remaining balance. In terms of fees for practices, I was able to reduce the cost for that only because we're using space, but we're not using it as frequently and as prolonged. The cost to practice for the entire winter season, any additional cost would just be $75. You'll be able to make that in payments, increments of $25, or you can pay the $75, up front. And all that just covers our gym space that we're using out. Again, you can make $10 every 2 weeks, however you want to do it. Information on how to pay is also on our website, but it also will be sent out by me prior to the start of the season. It's a pretty easy process. If you ever need any financial assistance, need any flexibility in terms of how you pay and when you pay, you can always just send me an email. For me, it's not about the money. All of our coaches are volunteer. I am a volunteer. I'm actually sitting, at work right now, as you see some of the stuff behind me. And so I don't get any financial gain from this, but it's bigger than that for me, bigger than that's for our volunteers, because our reward is seeing kids be successful. Like I said, both, on the floor and off the floor. So anything that you pay is for your child to participate with our organization. Also, uniforms. We ask that you do order uniforms. Uniforms are available online as a courtesy and a gift to you. I am purchasing about 20 uniforms to distribute to our coaches to hand out to players who may not be able to afford the uniforms. All reversible jerseys are only $30. Those are online. It takes about 7 to 8 days for you to get them once you're ordered. And so, but as a courtesy, as I have the ability to do so, if I can make sure everyone has a uniform, we'll be distributing those uniforms to our coaches. Certain coaches will have a certain number of uniforms, because we do have some new kids. Some kids already have jerseys, and so, but just for kids can play this winter who don't have a uniform, I'll make sure the coaches have a handful. But if you need to order one and you want to order your own jersey, that link is available also online. That will be shared with you as well by your coach at their appointed time, but also be sent out to me in my initial follow-up email to everyone who has registered. Basically, that's pretty much all I had to go over. I think to reiterate our purpose for our organization, it's found on our information sheet, is the Fort Worth Young Warriors remain committed to giving your child the best basketball experience at an affordable cost. We also seek to give each participant the amount of exposure that we deem necessary for their age group. Beyond basketball, ultimately our goal as an organization is to encourage each athlete in our program to excel in life. We hope by the conclusion of this season, all participants will have not only improved as basketball players, but more importantly, as people. This summer, I took a group of kids up to Oklahoma for a basketball team camp. We were able to stay on their campus. And one of the things that I enjoyed about that experience was the emphasis that their coaching staff placed on the word culture. And on a wall lit inside their locker room, it stated, creating our culture. And so we're trying to create a culture within our program that grows seeds into trees. And we don't really necessarily look at the scoreboard. Winning is great. Winning is really what you want to accomplish when you're playing sports. But if you want to win, you want to win the right way. You want to represent yourself. You want to represent your family. You want to represent God. You want to represent everything that you hold dear to the highest degree. And that's what we really try to teach and preach to our kids. Nobody is perfect. There will be mistakes made on both ends, but there is grace, and there is mercy, and that's really how I try to approach every situation. And the people that I have surrounded myself in my organization are wonderful coaches. Try to approach every situation. Thank you for your watching this video. Follow us on our Facebook page. Follow us on our website for any important updates. We go into winter season. We will have a winter break camp. I'm working that schedule out around some things that I got going on at work. Also, stay tuned for a very, very, very important announcement that impacts our future, especially as we look towards our spring basketball season. So if you don't follow us on social media, you're going to miss out. Thank you, and have a blessed evening.